I've always been skeptic of it. Like I was a non-believer until my mom passed away.
I had an experience when I was younger, and it kind of really got me into the paranormal and wanting to figure out what's going on, and is this real or is this a figment of my imagination?
I've always talked to dead people, and I just really didn't know that they were dead. When I was younger, I just considered them my friends.
And I used to be like into like the ghost hunting shows and stuff, and I'm like, man, I wonder if that's real. Always wonder what it'd be like. I'm the team leader of Party Paranormal, and we're a paranormal research team. I used to be with another team, and they had called me over to expand Party Paranormal. So we have two teams. We actually have 30 members, but we're split into two groups. But tonight we have like everyone, well not everyone, but people from North and South team. I created the South team, which covers the Broward and Miami-Dade County. Back during the 1940s, I believe it was 1946, a hurricane came through. When the roofs of the hangars lifted off, one of the blimps caught on fire, blew up, and all three hangars blew up, and several people died. So it's almost like a portal, I would say. We got the Ferdinand Magellan, the presidential car, a Secret Service agent got shot and killed there. We're standing in a medical car. Who knows who died in this car, right?
This is all a record, whatever it's called. Like a mock version of the plate. Unfortunately, our plates got stolen back in 2014. Still rocking some of its old components. For example, still rocking the old bed styles. That right there is the presidential room. That chair is exactly. That chair right there is exactly what Roosevelt sat on. That was his wheelchair. This right here is the observation part of the car. Me?
I don't know, maybe. So what we're going to do is we're going to communicate with the spirits here. And we have several devices that we use to communicate with spirits. We'll start off with this device here. This is called a REM pod. And what it is this antenna has a static field around it. So we can get spirits to manipulate this by getting close to it and possibly touching it. And then also what we're going to use is what's called the dead bell. And this senses EMF. And the reason why we're looking for that is because when spirits are manifesting, they need energy, right? And energy never ceases. Like Einstein said that. This recorder is picking up everything, like even the garbage that you don't want on your recording. You want to get any type of sounds available.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times on these recorders, it's going to sound like static, but there are more often times where we get something that is clear as day. Say your name or someone's name in these recorders right here, and you don't have to say it loud. Are you back there in the dining room? Motion ball. That sound like Ryan? Listen.
That's definitely my name.
So we like to do experimentation when we're communicating with the spirits, and we do sensory deprivation type experiments. So my buddy Mike developed the goggles, so why like have ping pong balls and carry a light when you can put these goggles on?
There's this experiment called the Ganzfeld experiment that they used to test ESP. The government used it, during the time when they were testing the mind and try to understand the mind, ESP, different things that go beyond our physical understanding. And I was thinking about this experiment, and I was like, I want to incorporate this more into the paranormal. And I was like, man, if we use the ping pong balls and the red lights like they used in the Ganzfeld, but kind of made it easier to carry around from when you're working out in the field or you're doing case studies or doing an investigation. And that's kind of how I came up with these after multiple different prototypes. And we started getting a lot of evidence and like really crazy responses.
It sounds like someone crying. Stay away from him. No. Crawl.
Stay away from who? Give us a name.
You.
It's supposed to stir up your senses, so you're getting this white noise and the radio going through your ears from the headsets, and then like you're supposed to get in a meditative state by staring into the red light.
Do you personally believe in ghosts or the paranormal?
No. I'm curious now why people believe that spirits or whatever they are have any kind of electromagnetic signal in the first place. But there's no physical reason for that. I mean, we know that electromagnetic fields are caused in the body. I mean, there's a whole industry trying to do brain scans with, little magnetic sensors in a little helmet, right? Because when there's a current flowing in the brain through molecules and neurons and all the stuff that's there, the circuitry, everybody knows from the 1850s that an electric current produces an electromagnetic field that propagates outward. Right? We learn it in basic physics class. The freshmen here learn that. Where's the current in a spirit? I don't know. I mean, never mind why they can understand the spoken voice, but then they can only communicate through special secret frequency channels. Makes no sense to me, but when you're scanning these frequencies, you can pick up all kinds of things. I mean, I used to take my little AM radio out on a hike, right? And I would tune it, and sometimes you can pick up Australia, right? People are talking because the radio waves are very long wavelength and they reflect and come around the world, right? So at night, in the right circumstances, you can pick up very distant, very cool. Those kinds of things, if you're scanning, you may pick up a voice and it may sound like a word. And it may accidentally sound like it could be connected to the answer to the question, right? Very vague. So it's kind of a lot, involves some speculation. Then there's a whole separate category of, people who experience things. Those are what the articles are calling, internal observations that are not identifiable by scientific methods.
We use equipment to try to verify things and show it on camera. But yeah, a lot of times there is a lot of feeling and a lot of stuff that you will feel physically, or intuition, if you will, that it's, like I said, it's very, very hard to explain to somebody. They have to be there and feel it.
Oh, it's awesome. So, like, for example, as you saw tonight, we have several people who are psychic mediums. They sense things. So we use them as a tool, the same way we use our equipment.
I don't believe that I'm chosen. I believe that everybody can. It's just a matter of allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to trust yourself. It takes practice. It takes courage. Sometimes I will say the stupidest thing and have to believe what I'm saying is right. I don't think all of them do want to talk to other people.
Can you stop that?
I think sometimes we are annoying them and they would rather just be quiet and alone. But I also think, just like everybody, we want to be heard when we have something to say. And nothing makes somebody feel better with us or somebody who has passed on than having somebody's undivided attention and knowing that they're waiting for you to say something and that what you say will be validated and appreciated.
And if you were a spirit and you were going to communicate with someone, wouldn't you do it with someone that you think could hear you the best? So that's what I tell people. She can hear, sense, feel things. So if I'm a spirit and I know that she can do that, and she's probably already sensing me and I already know that, she's the first person I want to go to. I've always been skeptic of it. Like, I was a non-believer until my mom passed away. and my sister and my dad would like experience her presence, and I never did. So I started dabbling in the paranormal, going to St. Augustine, Key West, and then ended up joining a team in Miami. And then once I got to War Party Paranormal, like I learned how to like sense things and feel things and open up.
I've always talked to dead people, and I just really didn't know that they were dead. When I was younger, I just considered them my friends. They were kind of my safe place, and they were my friends. I assumed everybody talked to them. Everybody had their own group of friends.
I've been with the team for probably about 4 years now. But before that, I always had a love in all things strange, UFOs, paranormal, cryptids. But I had an experience when I was younger, and it kind of really got me into the paranormal and wanting to figure out what's going on, and is this real or is this a figment of my imagination?
Something disturbed me and I woke up. And I was looking around, and I looked down towards the foot of my bed, and I saw 3 entities at different heights. They were all around 3 or 4 foot and different heights, and standing at the edge of my bed, kind of looking at me, but I couldn't make out features. They were just kind of like shadowy outlines, like shadowy figures.
I don't think there's anything malicious. I just think there's just good memories and things that are there. Oh yeah, there's definitely demonic entities out there, but it's very rare. I mean, a lot of the shows depict that because that's what viewers want to watch. So, you know, but it just depends. Like it depends where you go. Like you go to an insane asylum, there's going to be dark stuff there. You go to a prison, there's probably going to be dark stuff there.
We have a little celebrity tonight.
It's the ghost thing.
Yeah.
Actually, you love looking at ghost pictures.
Yeah. So we got a real life demonologist right here, Bill Slevin. And who are you and what do you do?
I say I've been in the field actively investigating for 36 years because in 1989, that was the first time I actually went on a residential case. So to me, that was when I started the journey. Before that was kind of learning. And then since then, I've been part of well over 1,000 residential cases. So I'm a parapsychologist and a demonologist. So I'm actually called into cases to help assess if they could be demonic, which is very rare. But it's something out there. I've been part of 7 confirmed demonic cases. Those cases is very hard. I tell everybody, people who go and say, yeah, I do demonic cases and it doesn't scare me, 100% lying. Because there's nothing about a demonic case that does not scare you, because you don't know what's going to happen. You can be calm as we go in until we figure out if it could be demonic. But once it's kind of confirmed and we believe it is, and we're going to actually do something to try to get that out of there, that is most likely going to be the most frightening night of your life. The 7 cases I have, the things that went on there will haunt me forever, honestly.
So why do you do it?
It's just like I go into a skeptical approach, and when something that doesn't seem right that happens, that you can't explain, I'm looking at it's got to be a reasonable explanation. I'm like trying to find an answer why that happened. So when something does happen, like I see a shadow figure or something, like it doesn't hit me till later. I like try to figure out what happened. How did that happen, you know?
We're in this because we believe and because we want to know. We are innately curious, fundamentally fascinated, and the belief is real, and we'll keep looking for answers, and we'll keep finding ways to navigate through situations that we don't understand. You know, my role, you know, as a psychic, I never will claim to know everything, never. And anybody who claims to know everything, don't listen to them, because they don't. I learn something every single time that I'm out on an investigation. Every time I work with a client, every time I speak to a spirit energy that's passed on, I get to learn something not only about them, but about myself.
Because 70 to 80% of what we deal with is not paranormal. It's mental health, it's addiction, it's fear, it's a lot of different things, can be a combination of everything. So it takes a lot of time learning how to talk to these people and get them to open up and tell us what's going on.
They might call up Eric or me or whatever after a year or 2. Everything's been great, but it's starting to act up a little bit again. Then we'll have to go out there, investigate, and see if it is coming back. And if it is, then we'll do another session and tell them how to handle it, how to cope with this.
I think the hardest thing for everybody, the most difficult part of the human condition, is that we one of the 5 basic needs is a sense of community. And if you feel ostracized by your community, then you will always feel like you don't belong, and you're always looking for a place to belong. And I needed a sense of community in order to grow. I needed to feel like I wasn't the only person that has ever experienced this. So having a platform for that and a place to just be able to breathe without fear of judgment, that in and of itself is liberating.
That's never going to go away. We're going to continue helping people. That's going to be the number one reason.
Oh, this logo, we have a name for him. His name is Chief Whoopin' Ass. And War Party we came up with the name is we just don't want people to live in fear. People are scared of things that they don't understand. And people may think like, oh, War Party, like, we're going to war, but it's more like a party type act, like we want to portray. We don't want people to be scared and live in fear.